Hey everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to the stream and another video of the tank that's soon to end. Yes, that's this guy right there, the M2A3 Bradley. Run the intro. We're going to Alright guys, we're back and we're gonna continue. There's our tank right now. She's got a nice coat of paint all over her. Okay, so off camera what I did was I gave her a nice coat of clear. Okay, that would be the Tamiya TS13 clear coat. Okay, another thing I did just off camera, just recently, like maybe 20 minutes ago, is I had forgotten to paint our little rocket launcher here. I forgot to do the NATO black on this guy, and so I had to fire up my air compressor and load it up with some paint and redo it. And so let me change the camera. We're going to find out this goo that I used last time. You guys saw me use a whole bunch when I was getting ready to paint this. This has been sitting for a few days. Out in the open. We're going to check this and we're going to see just how this stuff held up and see if it's still nice and gooey. Let's change the camera here and take a look. Okay, so here's our guy. We're going to see how this guy comes out. He's definitely stuck to it much better than it normally would, and is a little more good. Well, she's still, you know, you just roll it onto itself and hey, she comes off. So I really got to hand it to AK Interactive. Got to give them the props for this because they've made a really good quality product that works really well. Just make sure that it's coming. As it wants to stick, I just keep dabbing it onto itself and it's peeling up. So that's nice, even into this little nook and cranny here that it's kind of stuck inside. But she peeled up good, so I should be able to pull this apart now. There we go. And I'll just kind of dab in our little crevice here just to make sure it's all pulled out, because we got to do final assembly on this guy soon. And so she's got to be clean. Now this little amount that I have in my hand here, I'm not going to bother putting back into my container. I'm just going to throw this away. It's okay, that's all right. Okay, so with everything painted, we can finally start working on getting some of this stuff put together. So we're going to go back in our book. We got to go way back, because, you know, prior to all this painting, we had all these things that we had to do, such as put in all of our glass windows. So let's get a couple of things prepared here as we prepare to start putting in our windows and things. So going back to step 21, we have U5 that's got to go into these two little guys here. Okay, so let's find our hull, because we're going back to our hull. Let's get this separated here. There we go. You guys remember that? It's been a while, right? Yes. Okay, so we'll put this aside. We don't need this for a little while. Flip this over, because we've got some windows to go in here. I also need to reapply one of my seat belts. He decided to come off there from extensive use. So U5, let's find my U. I think I'm going to be doing everything from the U tree, even though we might say use our T for some, because we seem to have a lot. Well, no, that's not true. I'm lying. I have 2 U trees. So I have options of either doing them just regular clear or doing this tint. And I like the idea of doing the tint. So we're going to do the tint. Okay. Okay. So we need number 5 times 2. Which one's number 5? So I've got 3 5s, but I only need 2 of them. And you don't want them to look stupid. Okay, so you need to kind of pay attention to their orientation. So you see how we have an angle. See how it's angled? Okay. That angled part is going to be facing this way in this orientation. So this angled part here is going in towards the center. Okay. So I'm just going to grab this guy like that. Am I going to grab him like that? I'm going to grab him like this. And we'll see how he fits. I see that I've got kind of a really not nice looking weird nub right at the top here. So I'm just going to clean that up with my razor file. Love my razor file for this kind of stuff. This is a part that's actually going to be visible, so I want that clean up. Okay, let's see here. Put him in here. Now with him pushed down all the way, he should stick up and be nice and flush and get a nice little piece of glass looking little thing right there. And isn't that cool? That is cool. I like that. Okay, now this one goes in this guy. Get out of the way, seatbelt. Oh, my little TV is a little bit loose. So, that's not how he's supposed to go in. Get out of there. So same deal. This guy goes in like that. I'll put glue on it in a minute. Should be nice and flush. Perfect. Okay, so let's put some glue in there. And while I'm at it, I'm going to put some glue on my TV because he's a little loose for some reason. He must have got knocked around or something. There we go. Okay, so those are glued in. That's these two. So I need to grab my Sharpie. Grab my Sharpie. And I can go bing, 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 bing. And there we go, that's done. Now, turn this guy over. And the last number the third U5 is going to go there on this spot here. Again, with our angled part facing towards the center. And he's done. And he's nice and flush. Oh, that looks beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. Okay. And then we have our U1s going across the back here. And we're going to be doing, see, U1s, they look a little different, but I got to clean up their nubs. I got to clean up the U number one. U number one. You need to be cleaned up. The center. So let's see here. Let's try that. Yep. That works. Got this guy. Angled part facing in. Bing. And angled part facing in. And bing. Just like that. Now these ones are a much looser fit than the U5s. But that's okay. That's what glue's all about. Right? That's why we glue them. right, so there's our U1s in place. If my camera would focus, please, thank you. U1's in place. It's funny, this one almost looks clear. It doesn't look like it's tinted, but that's okay. That's going to give us a little character on there. All right? Okay. So, that's done. This one's done too. So, we can go bing-a-bing-a-bing, and that is done. All right. So, next. It's all done. We have some accessories to put on. I have yet to do the tracks. The tracks are coming up in a future thing, so I need to remember where we put tracks. Let me mark this. This needs to be done. Okay. But we've got our tools that need to go on. They are painted, so those should be ready to go. I could flip this over. Our tools are supposed to go along this piece here. It almost looks like this U5 is crooked in here, but it's flush. It's funny how the little blue tint kind of gives it a weird angle. Anyway, where are my tools? My tools are still on the sprue, I believe. Yes. C3, C12, and 14. So we got C3, we got our shovel. Okay, here's our shovel. C12 is our hatchet. And then C14 is looks like a sledgehammer. Looks like a sledgehammer. Alrighty. So, yes, painted on the sprue. Now that I've taken it off the sprue, we've got an unpainted spot, but that's okay because a little bit of weathering and stuff like that, and maybe a little bit of touch-up paint, even a little dab of black, whatever, doesn't matter. We'll clean it up. We will clean it up. We'll hide these little marks. Well, it's not really hiding, but it's just finishing the detail. Okay, so C3, our little shovel, he's going to go up onto these points here and here. Is that right? This? That doesn't seem right. Where's his front peg? I think he's going to go like this. Like that. So we've got a hole here that they don't... Well, they show the hole, but... They show that it's supposed to go into... Oh, no. I'm wrong. This does go here. Line up. Get in your hole. There you go. So he goes like that. Okay. So let's just put some glue on his... Put some glue in his holes. This hole here, this hole here. It's a little too much. I don't want to put too much glue on him. And of course now it's been a minute, so it's probably going to have dried. I don't really want to put glue on the hull. I don't mind putting glue on the actual shovel. capillary action will work fine. Okay, next we'll do our hatchet. And our hatchet is what goes into this hole here, and then this hole here. So he's going to go all the way down. Where's his peg? His peg is right there in the head of the axe. And then all the way down there. So he's going to go in like so. Okay. All right. And finally, we got our little sledgehammer thing, which goes into these two holes. There we go. Like so. And we have our somewhat rusty tools that, well, they should have a little bit of love given to them, but we'll deal with that later on. There's our tools on the hull. Okay. Now right now they just look like rusty mess, but a little bit of detail will clean those up nice. Okay. So those are done. So let's see what's next. Next we're moving on to our driver's hatch. I'll open it up here. He doesn't seem to want to open. He used to open all like the full 90 degrees. I think he's got some paint in him, restricting him. There we go. Just needs a little bit of help. So he's got 4 windows. And that's what we're going to work on now. So, what do we need for windows? T3. T3. And of course, T is perfectly clear, so we have no options. They're not tinted. So number 3, it looks like these guys. Bing, bing, bing. So why? Looks like I'm missing one. I'm missing a T3. Oh, it fell off. Ah, thank you, Lord. He fell off. He was just a little eager to get going, to get started on this. He was like, yay, it's finally going to be my time. I'm going to go to my home. Okay. So with those, let me just close the hatch. We're going to close it up and just flip this over. That's going to be easier, I think. And then we have a look at our instructions again. It's really hard to tell which way we're supposed to show it, because the one that they show out of it is face on with our camera, and yeah, so fun. So I'm going to assume that just like the rest of them, our angled part is supposed to go towards the inner side. That is my assumption. It's a little bit hard to get in there with it. Let's see if my tweezers will hold on. Okay, give that a little press and let's have a look. And it looks like that's exactly how they're supposed to go. So same deal. Our angled part faces the inside. So let's get all 4 of these in here. Okay, one more. All right. So All of those pressed in, they're all nice and flush, lined up perfect. Let's get some glue on them. Alright, so those are all glued in there, and we've got our 4 little windows in there. Okay, there we go. So that part is done. And next we've got our other tool, C13, is going to go on this side. Where did my C tree go? C13. I don't know what this guy is. Looks like maybe a pry bar of some sort. Is my guess. Some kind of a pry bar. Okay, so flip this guy back over. He's going to go on this side. Where does he go? He's going to go on with, I believe, this guy. No. What panel did he go on? Oh, he does go on this one. Where does he go? He goes here and here, with the little rounded edge going forward. So he goes like this. At least he should. You line up with a peg. Yeah, right there. Right there like that. All right. And that's him. That's the C13 in his home. Okay. Okay. And we can, oh, we need C5. C5's got to go here. This little curved guy. And that makes that the last part on the C sprue. C sprue's done. So he is got a little curve to him, and he goes, his bottom hole is a little hard to get lined up in there, but he does go, oh, I had him, yeah, it's just like that. And there's C5 in there now, in his little home right there. Okay? Okay. That's it. So that makes that one done. You're done. All right. Let's see what's next. Flip our page. We got a decal number 19, which I put right there, so that's already done. Decal's done. I got all the decals done. The decals are all finished. So we go do. This is all finished. We're going to deal with the tracks later. The tracks are kind of an after thing. We've got our little cable that's got to go on the back of the hull, which means I got to grab the lower section. So let's grab that. So we've got a cable that's going to go on our back door here. Okay. Well, actually, we got a couple of cables. I just don't know if I've painted this one or not. I don't remember. But here's our E8, which is painted, and he's all ready to go. He's been waiting very patiently on my little hook. He's got to go on. And he is going to line up with a few little pegs along the side here. Where does that one go? It goes right in here. That goes here like this. So he should line up. You get him lined up, it should fit all of his little holes. All the holes should line up. Should be a few key points. Let me have a look here. We've got a peg, and then we've got little square notches, square blocks. We've got one peg there. They're just little square blocks. So they're not really, there we go. They're just kind of anchor points in a sense. And it looks like we're going to have to do it little bit by little bit. Just because of the way it's kind of warped. This one here doesn't want to stay, and I don't really want to fight with it, so I'm going to grab my extra thin rapid or quick set. It's not really rapid, it's just quicker. It just glues a little quicker. I'm going to put some here to hold stronger. I think we got it. Okay, there's our cable for the back. Okay, but we got another cable. It's not cable, it's our little hooks. Little hooks that go here. This one came off on me, and I have it sitting down over here. During the whole painting process, you know, I got a few things that kind of came apart on me. See, he's right here. I still have him. He's here. He's got to go on to his little home here. Like that. He's just a little loose. This guy disappeared. I don't know where he is. He's gone. So would it be better to just leave it off? Maybe. I don't know. I could glue him on and just put him hanging, and then he won't, you know, that would mean he doesn't fall off. That's always good. So I'll just glue him in position. He's just going to be glued into that position there. We're going to leave him because his friend fell off and I have no clue where he went to. Unfortunately, that happens sometimes when you've got these little loose fitting parts. Okay, so our cable is on, and that is it for this page, obviously with the exception of our tracks. Okay, so that is that. We're gonna put this aside. I will let this just kind of cure for a little bit, and then I'll apply a little more glue later. I obviously have to re-glue my little grill on my fans here, because that came off when I was taking off the goop. Remember that? It's sitting right here. I'll deal with that later. All right. Let's flip our page, see what's next. We've got our air conditioner units are all done. We've got the decals put on. Our side armor, that's all done. these are done, done, done. Okay, now we've got turret. Turret windows. So let's grab our upper turret. The upper turret, this guy here. Close our hatch, flip him over. We need some T8s and 6s and 9s. Well, something like that anyway. Off of our T tree. We need T6 or T8. This is, where are we here? T7, T6, 8, right here. These are all different sizes. And this guy is going to go right there on that side of our hatch. Right? No, he doesn't even fit there. How could he go there? I had him upside down. So he's actually flat. He's got a flat edge. And he doesn't really fit in there. There we go. He is a tight fit. He's like the only one that's got a flat edge on him. Weird. Okay, so going across here, T6. Okay. T6 is this little guy. T6 is going to go right in here. Right in here. It might be a little bit. Oh, that's a tight. That is tight. If you happen to have this guy put in weird or something, and you're covering your hole, it's not going to work for you. You won't be able to get your glass in there. He's so small. He's just kind of peeking out. He's just barely peeking out right in there. Just so subtle. Okay, that's T6. Next is T9. Where's 9? 4, 10, 11, 7, 6, 2 goes on the side here. Right there like that. Okay. And then we got 2 T4s to go in the back. We actually got a total of 5 T4s going all the way around the rest of the way. So let's get all of these put in here. Putting the wrong one in. Through process of elimination. Is that the right way? Yeah. This guy don't want to go. Why don't you want to go in your home? This guy's just too fat. So is that guy. Am I putting it in backwards? What the heck, man? Neither of these guys want to go in, and yet they're supposed to. It's almost like I got some paint in there or something. Oh, suddenly you fit perfect. What the heck's wrong with me? Almost, come on. This one definitely He's having a problem. Okay, this one's gonna need some love. By love, I mean some shaving. He's just not gonna fit in there. There we go. He's in. And now he's in all the way. Alright, let's glue all our glass in there. So if you have a situation where it's really tight and it doesn't want to fit, push down all the way, when you put some glue on it, all you got to do is just press it down, because that glue will act like a lubricant before sticking, and you can get it to go in all the way just by pressing down. So there we go. We've got all of our glass in there now. Those all need to be painted a little bit. And so what you do is you paint them, and you basically leave the middle part, or the inside glass part. Don't paint that. Just paint the outside of them, and you're good to go. Because they're meant to be, you know, the guy's sticking his head there and he can look out, right? So those should be not painted on that side. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So those windows are in. Our windows are in. Do. You know what that means? With the windows in and the rest of this all done, it means we can actually put our two halves together and glue them. We can actually put our turret together. We can assemble our turret for one final time and glue it all down. Yay, how's that? That sounds good. All right, let's put some glue around our edge. Glue our turret together. The other thing we can do is put our little bucket that goes on the back. Put that on our turret too. Yes. Okay. Turret is done. She's together. Finally, guys, we got our turret together. One piece. All right. Let's put it down for a sec. Flip our page. Still working on the turrets. This is all done. We got all this done, right? So that's done, and we're done with the done stuff. We have our little windows. Our glass has to go in here off of our yew tree. I'm almost out of time here, guys. I'm almost done. Okay. We got U3, 2, and 4. So let's go U3. U3, where's number 3? Oh, we got 2 3s. That's okay. We'll take one of the 3s. Get it off of here. Clean up our edge really nice. The razor file. And he's going to go into, looks like he's going to go in this side here, and he's going to go in from the back. Press him into his place. That's where he goes, just like this. And very carefully on the edges. Just like that. And just if you happen to get a little bit of glue on your edges, then don't worry about it, because you know what? This thing's going to be out in the elements. It's going to be out in the dust, in the desert. These things are not going to be crystal clear. Your windows here will not be crystal clear for very long, okay? So don't worry about that. These things get dirty. That's what tanks do. Our middle one is the U2, okay? U2, rattle and hum, goes in the middle here. I wonder whatever happened to that band. They're like gone. You never hear anything about U2 anymore at all. Just fell off the map. Okay, so he goes in the middle, but he goes from this side. Like that. Okay, and U4 also goes from the outside, or I guess you could say from the front. U4 right here. They have this little tab on the side here, so if you see that little tab right there, okay, that little tab there, that's going to slot in to a little notch that's right in there. Okay, so that's why they go in from this side and not from the back. You get them lined up. There we go. He didn't want to go into a spot, and then I actually pushed him through too far. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's those 3, and we have a 4th. Our other U3 is going to go into our 4th little section there, and that's it for our colored U sprue. And that kind of signals that it's been almost an hour. And he goes in from the outside also. He's going to go in from this side. And it fits in absolutely perfectly. Thank you very much. There we go. So we've got all 4 of our pieces of glass in, and that's how it looks with all the glass installed. This should be fairly flush. There we go. Okay. So, and of course we got our decal, which is in right in there. Okay. That's all done. Okay. Next. Oh, we've got our little cover that's going to go up on top here. So I need to unhook this from that. Put this guy down. Our little rubber cover that goes up top here. This guy. Remember, he's got his little holes to line up on those pegs. Like so. And then he slots down right in the back here. That. So I don't know if this rubber will actually stick on here with regular glue. I can give it a shot, you know. I'll give it a shot. I'll put some glue up top here where the back piece is supposed to go in. It just sits like that in there. I'm going to do that first. I'm going to try gluing it just along this edge here, and we'll see how well that sticks. Okay. So we'll just do that as an experiment and see if that stays there. Put a little more glue in his slot. We'll see how that sticks, and if that holds, then that's great. Otherwise, I'm going to have to use some CA glue on it. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to have to clear coat this guy because I got my decal there, and he just looks different than the rest of the tank. So I'm going to have to clear coat that. But we have remember I was looking at this part here, T11, a clear window to put in through here, but then I had to paint this. So yeah, I didn't bother with that, and I think it's fine. That's fine without having a window in there. Can't get in there now anyway because I've glued it all that together, but that's okay. Flip this over. We do have our little bucket here, our Commander's independent thermal viewer. This guy up here. We got a little window that's got to go inside there. That's T10, which is not clear, or which is not tinted. T10. Clean up my sprues, and he's going to go down into this little slot in there, just like whoops. He's going to go in right in there like that, and then we'll put a little glue in there just on the sides. Good enough. There we go. And then we've got to put the little roof on him. That's F18. We've got to put the F18 on there. I painted him earlier. There's our F18. And he's going to go on top here. just like that. Give him a little squeeze to make sure he's seated good. There we go. That ought to do it. There we go. Our little guy's all assembled now. Little glass piece in there. Okay, that's done. And that is it for this page. Flip. This is all done, including this assembly here, which is right here. And so that takes us to our final step of installing this thing. Which goes on the back here. Now, I had him all taped on there so that I could get this painted up. But that's basically where he sits. Kind of like that. And now I can actually put some glue on him so he'll stay in his home. I'm going to start right there. These two little hooks right in there. Looks like he's touching right there too. And that's where he's going to sit. So I need to let this kind of cure because I need to give it a little bit of squeeze and get this edge lined up and being flush against there. But I got to let him sit now like this, right? And let that cure. I'm actually going to put that in there because it's touching right there. That's perfect. Okay, so that is that. So he needs to sit and just be happy sitting there like this. Hey, I said sit there. Seriously? This is gonna literally just fall off on me? Not very nice. Not very nice at all. Let's reapply some glue along here. And maybe this time he'll stay. Okay. I kind of would like to just hang him like this and just let him stay in that spot. So that's what I'm going to do actually. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to sit here like this for, I don't know, 5 minutes and then let that cure and then I'll put it down somewhere. Figure out a way to just kind of suspend it like this. So that's where we're going to leave it here. We're almost done the assembly. Almost. What I am going to do, I'll tell you now, the tracks. I got a lot to do with the tracks, okay? What I have to do, I need to paint them. So first I need to primer them. Okay, the tracks, I literally have them all sitting in this little box here. Primer them, if I can open this box. Open up. There we go. Okay, so I literally just put them all into this little box here, just so that we're out of the way and not being disturbed by anything. I need to lay these all out and I need to primer them. After I primer them, I'm going to paint them with German gray. Okay, the German gray I have here somewhere. I don't know if I have it marked. Here we go. German gray. That's the LP27 by Tamiya. Okay, I'm going to paint them with German gray. And after that, then I'm going to do some rust effects. Okay, I will show you guys next time. I'll show you how to do the rust, or at least how I do the rust on them. Okay, and that's what we're going to do next time. Okay, now that's a bit of a process. It takes a little time. It might be a short video because I'll just do the rust and then I gotta let that dry for a little while anyway. And then I can do some assembly on those tracks, get them assembled, do the touch-up on the rust effects, because when you assemble them, yeah, you're going to find some areas that need some touch-up and stuff like that. Stuff like that, more stuff like that. Yes. So, this is where I'm going to leave it for today, guys. That's it for this particular video and this episode. I want to thank you for joining me on this long journey of this tank assembly. And, you know, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, if you hit subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all in the next one.